Many organizations are trying to figure out how to stay in the boardroom and out of the courtroom. Frequently, employers struggle with how to conduct an internal investigation and limit their legal liability while providing the best possible solution for the organization and the employees involved. There really are about 8 steps that can help one develop a good investigation plan and limit an employer's liability. Today I'd like to talk about those 8 steps. When it's necessary to conduct an internal investigation as a result of disparate treatment or adverse impact, you have to develop a plan in the very beginning. What are the steps that I'm going to take to do that to improve my investigation process? Let's talk about that first step. The first step is to protect your information. You need to have a plan on how you protect all the documents that you collect during the investigation. The second step is to perhaps contact an attorney and invoke your attorney-client privilege. They will guide you through that. How do we go about doing that? How do we look at all of the documents that are gathered in this plan being protected under that plan? The third thing to do is to seek the truth. Do not have preconceived ideas about the investigation. The most important thing for you to do is to gather the facts, seek the truth. The fourth thing that you need to do is to identify primary and secondary witnesses. Get all of them lined up and know who you need to interview in the very beginning. That's part of your initial plan. Primary witness is someone that actually saw what happened. However, your secondary witnesses can be just as valuable. People that have worked with that individual in the past, people that have some history of situations that may have taken place in the past that would support what happened just now. So looking at primary and secondary witnesses is extremely important. The fifth step is to be aware of failure to get involved. Even well-intended individuals frequently will not want to get involved in an investigation process. They're concerned. They're concerned about what will happen. They're concerned if they'll lose their job, what effect it will have on them. And you need to be aware of that and make people comfortable and understand that according to company policy, they need to participate in the investigation, but be aware that they may not tell you everything initially. And that's something that a skilled investigator can eventually get the information that they need, but you have to be aware of that failure to get involved. You also have to define interpretive language. Make sure that when you're interviewing a witness that you're respectful, that you don't give them the impression that you've already made up your mind. And that, more importantly, you cannot promise them confidentiality. What you have to be careful about is to say, we will only get individuals involved who have a business reason to know. You can't promise absolute confidentiality to people when in fact you might have to interview other people, get the police involved. There are various other things that may happen during the investigation process. And the one thing that you don't want to do is promise them something like that and then lose trust with those witnesses. The seventh thing that is so important, the seventh step, is listening. So many times we think we're good listeners, but how many times have you been introduced to someone and they've given you your name, and then all of a sudden you start talking to them, and within a matter of seconds you realize that you forgot their name that they told you 2 or 3 seconds ago. That happens in an investigation as well. You're taking notes, things are happening fast, you have to be careful. Make sure that you take the time to write things down, listen, and record exactly what you heard, not what your thoughts are. You're recording the facts. The 8th step is to document everything. It's so important. Document everything that you do in the investigation process. Your plan, any information that you've had with your attorneys or your HR individuals. You also want to look at having the witnesses document and sign off on anything that they've told you to make sure that you can come back and say, yes, that's exactly what you said. You want to have a final investigation report. You have to remember documentation is extremely important. For more information, contact Dodaro, hrconsulting.com. Thank you.